So make your way onto your back, close your eyes. And by the way, if you have a yoga strap, you can use a belt, you can use a tie. You may want the yoga strap for the warm up today, okay? So if you have one and you like using it, then go ahead and grab it and then make your way onto your back for our mindfulness. So as you lay back, just noticing what do you find as you lay there. Do you feel calm and peaceful? Agitated, anxious, bored? As I've mentioned in the past, there's no right or wrong answer. The practice, you could say, is in asking the question. What am I feeling? What am I experiencing right now? Another question you can ask is, what am I resisting? What am I saying no to? What am I rejecting that's part of this experience? Why? Right? If I'm rejecting something, resisting something, why am I doing that? And then finally, what would happen if I didn't resist? And maybe trying it. If it feels safe, just trying, seeing what happens if I just let everything be as it is. I'll mention that resistance can be quite subtle. So just a slight twinge of irritation or impatience can be a form of resistance, and that could indicate a whole iceberg of emotion that might be living underneath that slight irritation. And again, we're not trying to feel guilty about what we feel. That's not what this is about. Okay, let's begin now to deepen our breathing. So we inhale, fill the belly, the ribs, and the upper chest. And we reverse that on the exhale. Now we add in the ujjayi sound, the ocean sound, like you're fogging a mirror with your mouth closed. And then let's begin to add a little bit of movement. So we're bringing the right leg in. We'll just begin by cradling that leg. And we want to bring that same kind of open, loving, accepting awareness to what we find as we begin moving. So there might be some pain, some discomfort. I did a lot of split squats earlier, and I definitely feel that in my hip, my glutes. And so again, something like that is not necessarily a bad thing. It means I'm using my body. The fatigue that I feel, the soreness that I feel, it's not bad. It will go away, but it's definitely there. Okay, today we're doing what I call the supine triangle series, and this is where you might want your strap. So we'll do 3 stretches from this position with each leg. So we begin with the supine pyramid pose, which looks like this. You could hold the toe as I'm doing, the foot. You could have a strap over that foot. And you can also hold behind the knee. The leg may not go completely straight. That's okay. And you may bend this other leg because that will take some of the pressure off of the hamstrings of the straight leg, okay, the leg that is active. So we want to feel the stretch right in here. Those are the hamstrings. We don't want necessarily to do maximum stretch here because we're just warming up. But we do want to feel the stretch, and then we want to take a few slow, deep breaths. And as we breathe, especially on the exhale, we want to feel a little bit of release, a little bit of letting go. Even if there's no physical change, no visible change, we just want to feel that the body is beginning to release and let go. Okay, so the second stretch will be a supine triangle. So we take a nice deep breath, and then as we exhale, we're dropping that leg out to the right. And now we'd like to feel the stretch in the inside of the thigh there. So again, this is very similar to the triangle pose, which we will do standing up a little later on. So what do you feel here? I feel it in the inside of my right thigh and the outside of my left waist, and that's also where I tend to feel it when I'm standing as well. And then the final stretch will be a twist. So we inhale back through center, and then switching hands, we can exhale the leg off to the other side as we take a nice twist here. Okay, and you're looking away from that leg. All right, let's inhale back through center, and we will exhale, release that side. Take a moment to just feel both legs, and hopefully you can sense or feel the difference between the two sides, the one that we stretched and the one that we have yet to stretch. Okay, let's do the left side. So we're bringing that leg in, and again, the movement helps to warm up the joints and the muscles. And it also is a diagnostic, right? It's also, like I said, I've got some discomfort from working out earlier that I can feel, and it's not a bad thing. But sometimes we do feel something where it's like, ooh, that really hurts. You know, I maybe need to lay off or be careful or adjust the way I'm approaching certain things. Okay, from there we take the leg straight up, or as straight as we can get. And again, we know we're doing it properly when we feel that hamstring stretching. And then it's just a matter of holding and breathing. The reason we do this to start is it's a lot more stable. Once we're standing, it can be easier to hurt yourself and to have poor form. So I like warming people up here because it's a very, again, stable, safe position for people to work in and kind of get a sense of what their flexibility is and what their body can and can't do. Okay, from there we take the supine triangle. So that was the supine pyramid. Now we're in the supine triangle, and again, just paying attention to what we feel here. So for whatever reason, one of the things I'm noticing in my body as we warm up is I'm feeling kind of stiff today. So I'm not feeling super supple or flexible. And again, that could be the result of the workout. Very often, resistance training, weight training, it tends to create tension in the muscles. And I haven't really done stretching after doing that. So that could be where this tension is showing up from. That's why it's a nice balance of yoga and things like resistance training. They pair very well together as a kind of a yin-yang experience. Okay, let's go ahead and bring that leg back through center. And we switch hands and we take it off to the other side. And you're looking away from that leg, and again, noticing what you feel. I feel a little bit in my back, my waist. Not too much in the chest or shoulder today, just mostly in the back and the hip. A little bit in the groin, actually, interestingly. Okay, so we come back through center and exhale. We release that leg. Let's bring both legs in and we will rock and roll up to seated. Coming into the tabletop. Let's do a few rounds of cat-cow here. So again, consistent with my experience with my legs, back is not feeling super flexible today for whatever reason. But that could just, again, be the result of what I did this weekend. When you're done with that, you can tuck those toes and lift your hips. So I'm sharing that with you because, again, these are the kinds of things I'd like you to start to notice. I'd like you to start to notice that your body is not the same from day to day. It just isn't. It does change. It's very fluid based on many factors: what we do, what we eat, how stressed out we are, how hydrated we are, what we, all kinds of factors play into how the body actually responds and feels. All right, let's come into our full down dog here for a few breaths. And with our exhale, let's walk our feet to the hands. We come into the ragdoll. Grab the opposite elbow, nod or shake your head, sway your hips, bend your knees. And then the arms can relax as we inhale and gradually roll up to stand. Okay, so now we will do a few rounds of sun salutation, Surya Namaskar. So traditionally feet touch, but hip distance is fine. But I do want to mention this because I saw it the other day in class. There was someone standing like that when I said hip distance. So hopefully you can see my feet. Those are, we call them duck feet, affectionately. And then the other one is this, which is pigeon toes. So we don't want that. So your feet can be together or hip distance, but the inside edges of your feet need to be parallel, okay? So please just be mindful and notice whether, are your toes pointing out or in. That's not what we want. Okay, so inhale, arms up, touch palms, lift the heart. Standing back bend for a few breaths. We're just going to hang out here for a moment. Imagine we're going up and over a beach ball and feel the stretch along the front of your body and see if you can even that out. Breathe into it. Good. Inhale through center and exhale to the forward fold. Let's inhale as we come to the half lift, and then exhale, step the right foot and then the left to the top of a push-up for plank pose. Let's take a deep breath in plank, and as we exhale, drop the knees and coming down halfway. Now, when I teach this in person, sometimes people drop way too far down, just halfway down, okay? Elbows hug the ribs, and then exhale the rest of the way. Bring your feet together and gently press them into the mat. And as you inhale, lift your hands, head, neck, and chest. So we're just using the back muscles here. With the exhale, we come down and inhale, top of the push-up. Exhale back to downward facing dog. The next inhale, let's come to the toes. Exhale to the front edge of the mat. Inhale to standing back bend, and then we'll add a side stretch. So we grab the right wrist and exhale, pull ourselves to the left, looking up and rolling the shoulder back for half moon. Good. Let's inhale back to center, switch wrists. Just like the back bend, so you can create an even stretch all the way from your waist through your wrist. Good. Inhale back to center and exhale to forward fold. Let's inhale to the half lift and then exhale, stepping the left foot and then the right to the top of a push-up. Okay, knees up or down is your call. Take a deep breath, exhale halfway down. Take a breath, exhale all the way down. Inhale, press into your hands, lift the head, neck, chest, and abdomen, but keep your pelvis firmly grounded. Exhale, lowering down. Inhale, top of the push-up, and exhale back to downward facing dog. Okay, from down dog, let's inhale to the toes. We fill the lungs. Exhale, step, jump, float, front edge of the mat. Inhale, standing back bend, up and back. Exhale, stretch your right side. Inhale, center. Exhale, stretch the left side. Inhale, center. And exhale, sit into an imaginary seat, chair pose. Good. Inhale, standing back bend, up and back. And exhale, forward fold. So inhale to half lift, and if you're able to, just exhale right to the bottom of a push-up, low plank. Inhale, upward dog, straightening the arms and the legs. And then exhale, do a push-up on your way back to down dog if you are able. All right, so from here, let's bring our feet to touch. Inhale the right leg up and back. And as we exhale, we'll lunge. And we inhale to a triangle prep, which is like a warrior two, but with the front knee straight. So this is something we've done in the past. I think most of you are familiar with it. Okay. So in this posture, the front foot should intersect the back foot at the heel or the arch. The back foot either points straight to the left or it can angle toward the front of the room. Both legs are straight. And then we pivot the hands so the palms face the left wall. And then on our exhale, we're just going to reach and lengthen the right side, right? So this side is long. And when I feel like I'm beginning to round, which looks like that, I'm going to just pivot my hands instead of rounding. Okay? And so I still have lots of length here. I have openness in the chest. Shoulders are stacked above the legs, so not in front. I see this a lot. Can you all see me in class? Okay. This is not the pose. Yes, my hand is on the ground, but did I say put your hand on the ground? No. So again, this is where people, I don't know where they get these ideas from, but they think somehow, oh, I have to put my hand on the ground. That's better. Hand on the ground means I'm advanced. Hand on the ground means I'm flexible. It doesn't mean anything. Okay, because again, when I do this, I completely distort the posture just to get my hand on the ground. Okay, so that's not our triangle pose. All right, again, we did this as part of the warm-up on the ground. What do you feel? Similar? Same? Different? Take time to notice. All right, with our next inhale, let's come back up, and we're just going to pivot and then do that at the back of the mat, so the exact same thing. And then we'll inhale back up and pivot again, and we'll do that at the front. And then up, pivot, and then the back. Good, and then this time inhale up, and then we, let me see. We'll pivot those toes. Let's come into it this way today. So we'll come into triangle, and then let's sweep that arm down. Now once we're down, we step the back foot in, ground the heels, both legs are straight, pull that left hip forward and that right hip back. And then from there, as you exhale, just begin folding over your front leg and see if you can bring your forehead all the way to your knee. Good. Inhale, look forward, bend the knee, and exhale to the bottom of your push-up, okay? All right, let's do the other side. So feet touch, we inhale left leg, exhale lunge, inhale to triangle prep. So you could come through warrior two if you want. I just don't want to spend time on warrior two because it's not really anything we're doing today. So we pivot those hands and we exhale, reach, 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 lengthen, lengthen, lengthen the left waist, right? And when you feel you're beginning to round, then you pivot those arms. Now the left hand can rest on the shin like I'm doing today. You could also put it on a block. It could be on the ground. It can also just be in the air like that, just sort of free flying, free floating in the air, okay? So you can make that choice for yourself. So again, let's keep that integrity. Shoulders are stacked above the leg, right? Hips are stacked, shoulders are stacked, chest is open, left waist is long, breath is deep. And we're just feeling that stretch. You should feel a stretch here. Okay, from there we inhale back up, we pivot those feet, and we exhale to the other side. Again, these flows, they help to release superficial tension from the muscles, which allows us to get to our true edge more quickly. Okay, and then once we're at our true edge, holding a stretch will really help to sort of, what's the right word, burn into muscle memory that flexibility. Okay, so today we're trying it like this. We're just bringing that hand down. We step the back foot in enough to square the hips with the legs straight and the heels on the ground. And then again, from there, I take a nice deep breath, and with my hands on blocks or on the ground, I bring my forehead toward my knee. Okay, inhale, bend the knee, and exhale, bottom of your push-up. Okay, from here, we inhale to the toes, we exhale to a seat. Let's take a look at Marichyasana A, okay, Marichyasana A. So to do Marichyasana A, we bend the right knee, place that foot on the ground. Now, here's the tricky bit. People always want to put the foot against the inside of their left thigh. Please don't do that. Have the foot so that it's more lined up with the outside of your hip. Have about a hand's, right, like a wide spread hand's distance between the foot and the thigh. Okay, so a lot of space there. And then we can actually hug the shin to help us get the spine nice and straight. So we're standing up or sitting up nice and straight. Notice the left foot is flexed, it's active, right? And then from here, again, you could use a strap, but we can just inhale those arms up and exhale, reach down and grab that foot. And we just gently are coaxing ourselves forward and down. Now from here, if we want to go a little further, we take the arm, reach behind, take the other arm, reach behind, and we can bind or clasp wrists or fingers there. And then again, forehead towards the knee. Okay, inhale, we come back up and we switch out the legs. So this is called Marichyasana A. Again, let there be space between the left foot and the inside of your right thigh. Inhale those arms up. Exhale, forward fold. You could stay here, you could hold a strap, right? Or you can try binding. Okay, inhale, let's come back up. And then exhale, cross those ankles, roll forward, and make your way back to downward dog. From down dog, we inhale to the toes, exhale to the front edge of the mat. We inhale to standing back bend, up and back, and exhale to forward fold. Inhale to half lift, and exhale, bottom of your push-up. Make your way back to down dog. Okay, let's continue building our little flow here. So feet touch, inhale right leg up and back, exhale lunge, inhale to triangle prep, and then exhale to triangle pose. Good, inhale back up, pivot, and exhale to triangle. Good, and then now we'll add, or tease, I like to say tease the pyramid because it's not a full-on pyramid, right? So triangle, then just sweep the arm down, and then sweep it back up as we inhale. And again, at the back of the mat, same thing. Sweep it down and sweep it back up. Good, and then this time we come into our pyramid. Again, we'll step that back foot in, kind of refine it a little bit. And then from there, inhale, extend to the crown of your head. Exhale, plant that left hand to the ground or a block, and inhale the right arm up. Now, just like in triangle, I want my left waist long. I'd like my shoulders stacked and my gaze up. Okay, left hip forward, right hip back. So this is in a sense a combination of triangle and the pyramid to some degree. The legs are essentially in a pyramid, and then the upper body is in a triangle facing the opposite direction. Good. Exhale, bottom of the push-up, and make your way to downward dog. The reason I mention things like that is because if you understand the principles of one posture or a couple of postures, and then we put them together, it gives you a very clear idea of what you're trying to achieve in a more complex shape like that. So revolved triangle is more complex than triangle or pyramid on their own. Okay, other side. So feet touch. We inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale as we lunge, and we inhale to our triangle prep. Good. Exhale. Let's do a triangle at the front. Inhale back up. Now remember, each time you come into the pose, you do want to feel the stretch. So you should be very familiar with how the pose should feel. And we want to be sure that we are feeling that. Even though this pyramid is really short, right, we still should feel the pyramid-like stretch, okay? All right, last time, let's come into our pyramid. And then we'll shorten up our stance, ground those heels. Extend through the crown. We exhale that right hand to the ground, and then inhale that left arm up. Ground or a block. Remember, you can put it on a block as well. Good, deep breath. Exhale, bottom of the push-up as you make your way back to downward facing dog. All right, from the down dog, let's inhale the toes. We exhale to a seat. This is I think it's a fun posture. It's called the archer. It's fun because it kind of looks neat. It's very challenging for some people, okay? So don't feel bad if it's challenging for you, okay? But do the best you can, because again, by making the effort, that creates the adaptations. So if you quit, if you get frustrated, that doesn't create adaptations. It doesn't help anything, okay? So feel free to repeat Marichyasana, right, which was this one. You can repeat either variation if this next one is not for you. If you want to go the next step, then we take this leg, and let's just begin by cradling it a little bit. So that helps hopefully to open up that hip a little, release any residual or leftover tension there. And then the archer, we take the index, middle, and thumb of the right hand, and we grab the big toe, and we imagine like that big toe is like a bowstring, okay? And then we reach down and we grab the other big toe, that's our bow. And then what we'd like to do is looking forward, we pull back on the bowstring like an archer. Okay, so it kind of looks like an archer, right? It looks like I've got my left hand on the bow, got my right hand in the bowstring. I'm looking forward, and it's like I'm taking, I have my eye on the bullseye, and I'm about to release an arrow. Okay, so it's kind of a fun, neat posture. And again, just notice what you feel. Where do you feel it? I feel it primarily in my back. All right, let's release that side. Okay, and then the left side. Again, not a bad idea to cradle. So you can cradle like this, right? Just holding the knee and holding the foot. I like to be a little more aggressive, so I actually cradle the leg like I'm holding a little baby, and I'm cradling it and moving it around. And I'm just looking for tension in the hip and the leg. And if I find it, I try and use the movement to release that tension. Okay, and then grabbing that toe, grabbing the other toe, looking forward and pulling back on my bowstring. Okay, so this is the archer pose, Arkana Dhanurasana. Good, let's release. And then crossing those ankles, we roll forward, and make our way to down dog. And from our down dog, we inhale to the toes and exhale to the front edge of the mat. Inhale to standing back bend and exhale forward fold. So inhale the half lift and exhale bottom of your push-up. All right, everybody. So let's finish up our standing flow. We bring our feet to touch. We'll inhale that right leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. We inhale up to our triangle prep. And we exhale to our triangle pose. And inhale back up. Again, we've repeated this now many, many times, and hopefully it just feels easier, more comfortable, more familiar in your body, right? That's kind of the goal of those repetitions. Get rid of that superficial tension. Okay, we exhale, we sweep down for the pyramid, right? We inhale back up, and we'll do that at the back of the mat as well. Triangle and then pyramid. And then this last one, a bit tricky. We come up and we'd like to pivot and turn all the way around and come into a revolved triangle. And then inhale back up. You may have to shorten up your stance a little bit. That's perfectly fine. You know, adjust your legs as necessary. Good, one more time. We inhale up. And exhale, rotated triangle. And then exhale that hand down. And then inhale, bring your left toes straight up toward the ceiling for the standing splits. Walk your hands toward the standing leg, and you might even grab that leg with one or both hands. Now, my standing splits are not particularly impressive. I'm just not that flexible at the end of the day. So I have students who can do this, and they're in a perfect split. I am nowhere near that level of flexibility. But again, it's not how it looks. I'm getting plenty of benefit. I can feel the stress, that's the physical stress. Again, physical stress is often good for us. All right. All right, exhale, bottom the push-up. So I do want to really drive that point home today. Perfect opportunity to do that. Physical stress is often good for us. If we overdo it, it's not. But very often when we are at the point where we are slightly uncomfortable, we are very often benefiting ourselves, not hurting ourselves. That's called a hermetic stress. And again, for many of us, we need more of that in our lives, not actually less of it, okay? All right, let's try the other side. So feet are touching. We inhale left leg up and back. Exhale as we lunge, and then we inhale back up. Good. Exhale to our triangle pose. And then we inhale. We'll do that at the back of the mat. So we just pivot and triangle pose. And then let's add the pyramid in. So we pivot and we triangle and then just sweep that arm down, pyramid. Good. I don't know about you, but definitely feels easier. Like I said, I was feeling pretty stiff at the beginning of class. It feels much more fluid, much easier at this point. And then we pivot and turn all the way around, again, revolved triangle. It's not going to be perfect. That's okay. Don't worry about it. You know, we spend some time on the alignment, but we don't want to get obsessive about alignment. Okay. Okay, other side. And then this time, last time, we do the pyramid or the revolved triangle. And then exhale that hand down and inhale the right toes straight up, as close as you can get. Forehead again towards the shin or knee. Good. Inhale, look forward, and exhale back to downward dog. You can vinyasa, you can go straight back. All right, from there, inhale to your toes, exhale to a seat. So now we have another fun one. I think it's fun, although I'm not very good at it, to be honest with you. This is called Surya Yantrasana. Okay, Surya Yantrasana. The compass pose. So to do compass, we have, I'm not going to mirror, okay? So just FYI, I'm not sure what it looks like, but just listen, okay? Try and listen to what I'm saying and follow that. So left leg is going to be in front of us and it's going to be bent and it's just resting on the ground. Nothing special. The right leg, we take it and we want to see if we can put that leg over our shoulder. So kind of like a backpack, just kind of putting it on. Okay, now I'm watching class and I can see for many people that's very difficult. So again, the key is just to do the best you can without pushing yourself so hard that you actually injure yourself, because that's not going to do you any good. So you just want to go to your safe limit. That's essentially what you're looking for. What is your safe limit with this? If you're your life depended on it, or someone was offering you a lot of money, how far could you go safely? Let's say they were offering you a lot of money, you lost the money if you ended up with an injury. So you're thinking very carefully about, okay, I need to try and go as far as I can, but I can't go too far. I can't injure myself or I'll lose everything. Okay, so you're going as far as you can. Now, if this feels okay, then left hand to the right foot, right, the outside of the foot, I grab it. Right hand to the ground, so like a kickstand, and then I begin to straighten my right leg and I look up to the left, under the arm, under the shoulder. Okay, and that's called the compass pose, Surya Yantrasana. I'm not exactly sure why it's called compass. It probably looks like an old sundial. That's the other name for this, sundial compass. It's kind of the same thing. Okay, so try that, and then let's see about the other side. So the right knee is bent, left leg again. I just see, what can I do here, right? Very just curious, how far can I go safely? Then right hand to the foot, left hand to the ground, and then again, I begin to straighten and look under the arm, looking to the right. All right, good. Let's go ahead and release that foot. All right, this prepares us for our peak posture, which is we combine that same move. Actually, I think it's less intense, but we combine it with balancing on our arms. So we break down in many classes the crow pose, the side crow, right? All of those shapes. So hopefully you all have some familiarity with that. The main important thing when doing arm balancing are these arms. We call them chaturanga arms: shoulder, elbow, wrists, stack. Okay, so let's see if we can build this up real quick. Let me grab my blocks. They can be helpful for this, and I'll show you how, if you're struggling with this somehow. Okay, so for this posture, what I do is I see if I can take my right leg over my right shoulder, as we did before. And then the first step is hands on the ground or blocks. I can extend my left leg out in front of me. I see if I can lift my tush up, right? Lift my butt up. Now again, feel free to put your hands on blocks. That'll give you a lot of extra height. So can I lift my butt up, right? And if you can't, then that probably means your upper body is lacking the strength. And you can really change that. So again, we don't want to take that laying down. If we lack upper body strength, that means we are going to be lacking in health, especially going into older age. We'll really suffer because of that lack of muscle mass. There's more and more research coming out showing how important muscle mass is for health. So again, it doesn't matter if I'm a man or a woman, it is just absolutely vital for health. So that's the first thing to try. If you can lift your tush up, then the next step is I take this left foot and hook it over the right foot. So hopefully you can see I'm not pointing my feet because then it will slide right off. So I flex them, right? And then I lift my tush again, okay? Now if I can do that, I see if I can take the legs straight out to this side. Now hopefully you can see my legs are not touching the ground. They're sort of pinching my right arm. Again, notice my arms. I've got the chaturanga arms. The arms are bent. My chest is facing the ground. I'm looking up, looking forward. And my ankles are locked. That's called Ashta Vakrasana. Ashta means 8, and Vakrasana angle, so it's the 8 angle pose. All right? So let's see if we can do that on the other side. Same posture. We start like we did with compass. So I take that leg over the shoulder, right? And then I can test. If I'm not sure, I can test. Just lift. Can I lift my tush? Yeah. Okay, then I hook those feet. I lift and then begin to straighten the legs and tilt the torso to face the ground. Okay, from there, grab a seat. All right, nice work, everybody. So most days these days, we're doing a lot of cool down stuff. Today, we're running a little long, and I'm not really feeling it today. So let's just come onto our back. Let's relax for a moment. Good. And then we'll bring those legs in. Make some circles. And then taking the arms out like wings, let's just drop both knees to the left as we look to the right. Okay, we inhale back to center and we exhale off to the other side, same thing. Okay, inhale back to center. Let's grab the soles of the feet for happy baby. And then unwinding and relaxing on the back for the next 5 minutes in Shavasana.